is enough said.
Happy Monday, Heat Nation. Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope it was positive. Hope it was amazing. Before we get started, y'all, please smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as we roll to 5,000 subscribers. Got a few topics I want to talk to you guys about for today. But before we do, gotta give a shout out to my boy. I know a lot of people that follow my channel probably follow this guy as well, Anthony DiNardo. He just hit 5,000 subscribers. Big congratulations to my guy. My dude went from 4 to 1,000 subscribers so quickly. Anthony DiNardo's my boy. We've done a lot of videos in the past. He just released a video today talking about all the Miami Heat content creators. I was a part of it. First and foremost, it made me feel good because I'm like, damn, I made the cut. You know, it was myself and other Miami Heat podcasters that are a little bit on the higher level. So that was cool. Appreciate you, Anthony. Secondly, it was hilarious, especially my part. My man was doing everybody's intro. It was hilarious. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll leave a link on the description in the bottom. Anthony, you a real one, my dog. I appreciate you. Now, let's get ready to rock and roll on another Miami Heat Talk adventure because Anthony did it nice, but he can't do it as good as your boy. Ain't no better than the original. So let's go. Yeah, buddy. All right. Before I get to the real topic at hand, you guys, 2 games have gone by through the Summer League. I'm keeping a close eye on Kel'el Ware, and he's been playing amazing. You know, first game he had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 5 block shots. He's showing you exactly what the Miami Heat have been missing for years, interior presence. Then the last game against Sacramento, my boy did it really big. 26 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists and a block shot. He's showing you what he's capable of out there on the floor. I love seeing Kel'el Ware. I'm liking what Cole Swider's been doing. Cole Swider had 21 points in that game. You can't go far enough with shooters in the NBA. You need elite shooters on your team. Cole Swider can be a possible another Duncan Robinson. We don't know. Give the man an opportunity. You saw what he did in the preseason last year and in a few season games. I'd like to see my man get a little more minutes, but I'm really keeping an eye on Kel'el Ware because what he's been doing lately is great. The fact that he can show that he can have a big offensive presence like this, you know he's a rebounder, you know he's a block shotter, so we need Kel'el Ware to get as much experience as possible. One thing I'm going to need Kel'el Ware to do is get up on some size. Man is 230 pounds right now. If we can get Kel'el Ware by 240, 245 by the start of the season, I think it's possible. Dude's just got to get into the gym and work out. Hit up your boy if you need a program. Anyways, but on a bigger subject, it was posted today by Adrian Wojnarowski and several reporters that Haywood Highsmith has agreed to come back to the Miami Heat. So we got our man, the locksmith. We got Haywood Highsmith back. I know Heat fans were heartbroken because we lost Caleb Martin. Not just because the fact that we lost Caleb Martin, but the fact that how much we lost him for. Now, the news broke, you guys. A lot of things happened that really was crazy. So we're going to talk about Caleb Martin for a second. Caleb Martin left the Miami Heat for a 4-year contract worth $32 million from the Philadelphia 76ers. That's $8 million a year. With incentives, it can go up to $40 million. So like I was saying, it was between 32 to 40. It's because of the incentives. Now here's what happened. Here's the real story. This was reported by Ethan Skolnick, so I got to tell you guys what happened. For those of you that haven't heard it. Caleb Martin was offered a 5-year, $65 million contract from the Heat. That much we know during the season. All Caleb had to do was opt in on that $7.1 million so the Miami Heat could stay under the second apron. That was really important for the Heat, staying under the second apron unless you were trading for a superstar. The Heat did not want to go over the second apron for Caleb Martin. Makes sense. Following me so far. Let's continue. After that, Caleb Martin's agent told Caleb Martin, gave him some terrible advice. He told Caleb Martin to not sign that extension because he felt that Caleb Martin possibly could have gotten a better contract in the open market. This guy, who's Caleb Martin's agent, is not the most experienced agent. He messed up. He didn't take into account the new CBA agreements going on this year. A lot of agents don't really know about, they don't really understand the new CBA. The only person that really understands the new CBA in the Miami Heat organization is the guy that we know, Andy Ellisberg. He knows this to a T. Andy Ellisberg offered Caleb Martin this contract. Caleb Martin and his representative said no. When they said no, the Miami Heat told Caleb Martin, when you decline this player option, you cannot come back to us and ask for it. You cannot come back to us and get this same contract, because the only way that we can give you the contract is by you opting in on the contract. On June 30th, when Caleb Martin opted out of that player option, he lost that opportunity from the Heat, because the only way that he could give him that contract was if he opted in the $7.1 million. Because if they paid him more than that, we would be a second apron team. And again, the Heat didn't want to do that for Caleb Martin. You're with me so far? I hope you are. Now, Caleb Martin and his agent went to the open market. They were looking for an average of $15 million per season. They could not get that from teams that were winning teams, because a lot of these teams were already in the first, second apron. And a lot of these teams that had the money to give Caleb Martin what he wanted, he didn't want to play for them. So that's why Caleb Martin ended up in Philadelphia. Philadelphia paid him at least half of what he was looking for, a little bit more than what he could have gotten with the Miami Heat this year, and he's with a championship contender. So I don't think Caleb Martin deserves the blame. I think Caleb Martin got some bad advice, and he's now with Philadelphia for less money that he could have gotten from the Heat. Because even though he would have gotten only $7.1 million this year, the Miami Heat gave him a 5-year, $65 million contract. So after next year, the remaining 4 years would have been at $58 million, an average of $14 million a year. So Caleb Martin's agent dropped the bag. I hope everybody is in understanding there. Now here's what happened after that. Caleb left. Miami Heat were approximately $6.9 million under the second apron line. So the Miami Heat can offer a contract up to $6.8 million to keep them under the second apron line. We also have the $5.2 million contract exception. The Miami Heat have currently 13 contracted signed players to their roster. Signing Haywood Highsmith makes it 14. The Miami Heat signed Haywood Highsmith to a 2-year, $11 million contract. The good news is the Miami Heat used the bird rights of Haywood Highsmith to re-sign him. What does that mean? That means that the Miami Heat gave Haywood Highsmith a $5 million contract for this year. It kept him under the second apron line, so they moved up in salary, but they're still under the second apron. That allows the Miami Heat to still have that $5.2 million mid-level exception. So they can still offer a player more than the minimum contract. And now that gives the Miami Heat 14 fully signed contracted players. So ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the Miami Heat team moving forward, barring a trade. But I feel this is what we're going to get. You're going to see a season with Haywood Highsmith, Jaime Jaquez taking a larger role off the bench. You're going to see a season where Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Terry Rozier hopefully all get acclimated together, all stay fully healthy. You're going to have an emergent year from Nikola Jovic. Kel Elware, our rookie, is going to be playing with the team. You got Kevin Love coming back. Duncan Robinson is going to be healthy. You are going to have a fully healthy Miami Heat roster. Now, the question is, are the Miami Heat, we also got Alec Burks. That's our new player we're going to have. Josh Richardson's opting in as well. He'll be back towards the midseason. This Miami Heat roster, you guys, I know I sound deluded. I know I sound crazy. But until I'm proven wrong, when this team fully healthy, I think we're good enough to compete in the East. Are we the best team in the East? Probably not. But in a 7-game series, you give me a healthy Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier, and all these boys with Eric Spoelstra at the realm coaching, I give us a shot over any of those teams. You have Kel Elware, who finally gives you size presence. Hopefully he can take an emergent step like Jaime Jaquez Jr. during the season. Kel Elware is looking like that diamond. I know we lost Caleb Martin, you guys, but remember, we have Jaime Jaquez, and you re-signed Haywood Highsmith. That's a big re-signing. Haywood Highsmith last season, you guys, 66 games played. You know, he played 20 minutes a game. He averaged 6.1 points, 3.2 rebounds. He averaged 40% from the three-point line. He has a 7'1" wingspan. This is the guy that can be called upon to guard the opposing team's best player. You know, he can start some games. He can come off the bench. He's a Swiss Army knife. So I think this Miami Heat team has enough. The real question is, are we going to be healthy? Is this team finally going to get over that injury bug? It's been the same issue we've had every year with this team. On paper, this Miami Heat team looks beautiful. But when it comes to the season and all the injuries we suffer, that's our biggest problem. So if the Heat can get over this hump, that's the one thing that's really holding us back. But if we can get over that hump, I think we can do it, y'all. And it's like I've said before, this is the year. 2025 has to be the year. Jimmy Butler's on the final year of his contract. You know he's going to opt out after this season. But if Jimmy Butler and these boys don't do it, then maybe it's time to move on and focus on the Bam Adebayo build. That's going to be the great thing about this season. Regardless whether we win a championship or we don't, we're finally going to get answers of what the direction is moving forward. And another thing, since we signed Haywood Highsmith and we still stayed under the second apron, you still have that $5.2 million exception. Do you use it now and get a player that maybe might not play? Or do you save it? Because you still have one roster spot left. And I know Andy Ellisberg. He likes to keep a 14-team roster when he's very close to the luxury cap. In this case, he is. So let's say January, February rolls around. You have a disgruntled player making a good amount of money, gets bought out. The Heat don't just have a minimum contract. They have that mid-level exception. That's one thing I've seen the Heat do in the past, hold mid-level exceptions during the season. That's what they did with Kevin Love when they brought him here in 2023. So Heat fans, let me know in the comments, what do you think about the re-signing of Haywood Highsmith? How are you feeling about Kel'el Ware playing? What do you think about this whole Caleb Martin situation? Do you think the Angel fumbled the bag, or do you think Caleb Martin was the one that dropped the ball? Let me know in the comments what you think, you guys. Don't forget to check out Anthony DiNardo's video with your boy doing a feature. That was freaking hilarious. Thank y'all so much for the views, for the comments. You guys are the real MVPs. But don't forget, y'all, smash the like button. Do not forget to subscribe as we rock and roll to 5,000 subscribers. Thank y'all so much for the support and love. Till next time, your boy Ernest out. That's enough said. Yeah, buddy. Let's go.